All right, and speaking about the outdoors, a lot of what we love about Michigan is our ability to be outside in the greater outdoors, especially the trails around Michigan. I know that I love them so much, and there's a big effort now to connect all the 13 Huron-Clinton Metropark trails by non-motorized trails. All of the parks will be connected, and the public is invited to give their opinion on the next route. So joining me now is Amy McMillan. She's Metroparks Director. Amy, thanks so much for joining me. It's good to see you.
It's great to see you. Thanks for asking me to be here today.
All right, Amy, for all of us who just take for granted all of the parks and the trails that we have, give us the idea of how many metro parks that we have here, and then what in the number of miles of trails we have.
Sure, we have 13 metro parks throughout southeastern Michigan, about 25,000 acres of incredible parkland, and within those parks and between those parks, we have about 400 miles of trails.
So there is really, there has to be a lot of deliberate thought about how those parks are connected, where those trails are placed. Kind of give us the inside process of how you all have been able to do this.
Well, so over the years, Metroparks has done this really great job of developing trails within our parks, right? If you've been to any of our parks, you know that it's such a great experience. But many years ago, nearly 85 years ago, when the Metro Parks were first created, the vision was for the parks to be linked all together in a vehicular greenway, so that people would be able to travel seamlessly from park to park in their cars. And we have brought that vision into the current day to really focus on non-motorized trails to connect our parks to each other. And as you said, it's a really deliberate process, right? You have to figure out the best ways to make that happen. About a year ago, we hired some consultants to go out and look at all the existing trails throughout the region, to look at the gaps between our parks, and to help us identify what might be the easiest way to get from park to park, whether it is utilizing existing trails and sidewalks in various neighborhoods and communities, or to build new segments of trails ourselves. So we have that initial list of places that we've identified, and now we're asking everyone to take a look at that and see really what would rank highest on their list of the easiest and best connections.
So we're going to tell you, we're looking on the screen right now at those proposed routes. So connecting the Lower Huron Metro Park and the I-275 Metro Trail, Hudson Mills to Huron Meadows, Kensington to Indian Springs Metro Park, Indian Springs to Stony Creek Metro Parks, and Rolcott Mill to Macomb Orchard Trail. I think it's really interesting when you talk about looking at trails that might go through neighborhoods and talking about looking at land in other places. You really do want people's opinion about how it would work for them. Tell us how people can give their input.
Oh, 100%. I promise you we would not ask you for your opinion if we were not interested in hearing it and understanding really kind of where your thought process is about that, right? So the easiest way to do that is to go to our website, metroparks.com, and there is a link in the headline, and it will take you to the survey, and then you can just make your thoughts known to us. If you need us to reach out directly to you, just give us a call at our office, and we'll be happy to send out a survey to you.
What are some of the challenges, Amy, when you do undertake a project like this and then seeking public opinion, and what is the process in terms of timeline for decision making for this?
So, one of the challenges is always trying to get information out to as many people and as many hands as possible, so that we really have a good understanding of what people are hoping for, and getting people to take the time to share their thoughts and opinions. And then, of course, the next challenge is trying to kind of distill all of those opinions together and really understand what they mean. So we'll be doing this over the course of the next several weeks and into 2024 as we put together the plan, and we'll report back out to folks what we learned.
You know, when we talk about Michigan being a fantastic place to live, and then when businesses talk about trying to bring other corporations come in or people trying to relocate here and grow our population, our outdoor activities and the park resources that we have really play a large role in all of our lives. And I think we've seen coming out of the pandemic as well, people's need to be able to connect with nature and open space and have that ability to do that. Just give me, I guess, some of the feelings that you have about the spaces in the metro parks that we have available to us and kind of what it brings out for people.
So I think that our parks are all magical places, right? And they all have their own specific brand of magic because they're all so different from one another in the way that you can utilize them. If you are riding around the park on your bike, that's an entirely different experience than walking on the nature trails, for example. And I mean, each is equally great, and it kind of feeds your soul in a very specific way. And we hear that consistently from our park visitors. And, you know, particularly over the course of the last several years with the pandemic, I think the public understanding of the value of parks, you know, I think maybe before that, there was a little bit of taking for granted that we have these really wonderful spaces, but the important role that they play in our physical health, in our mental health, in our community building, in our placemaking. As you said, they're a great economic development tool because folks who can live anywhere working remotely want to live in places that have great parks, that have great trails, that have great opportunities to learn about nature. And the metro parks provide all of those.
All right, well, we're going to make sure that we have a link to your site, so if people want to give their opinion about these next connectors, they can do so, and they can do so over the next couple of weeks, right, Amy?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, Amy McMillan, Metro Parks Director, thanks so much for joining me, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Christy.